I would say I came out with broken wrists. There was 5 gay people in my town, and I was 4 of them.
Hold up, it's the anthem. Put your fucking hands up. Smiling cause I'm young, rich, gay, and I'm handsome. Yeah, the fam goes.
Today, we're diving into the unstoppable force that is Wreckno. You'll learn how they are transforming the entire bass scene and why they're one of the most exciting artists to watch right now. Not only are they making waves with their music, but they're also breaking boundaries for the LGBTQ plus community. From small town beginnings to performing at the biggest festivals, this journey is one of passion, creativity, and defiance against the odds. Like David Bowie and Missy Elliott before them, they're shattering gender norms in the genre and delivering some of the most electrifying performances in the scene. Wreckno's journey is not just about music, it's about breaking down barriers, being unapologetically yourself, and creating something totally fresh. Get ready to experience the Wreckno Effect. Wreckno, born Brandon Wisniewski, hails from a small town in Michigan, where they always stood out as a self-proclaimed rebellious weirdo. Growing up in an area with limited exposure to queer culture, Wreckno didn't have the language to express their gender identity in high school. Yet, through their love for music and performing, they started experimenting with their gender expression long before they fully understood it. Brandon found freedom in a group of friends who shared a love of electronic music. Because they lived in a small town, they often had to travel at least 4 hours one way to Detroit to see a bass show. These early experiences created a die-hard music fan and fueled the creative fire that had burned deep within Brandon since they were a child.
And I was always very obsessed with music. That just really created this community for myself and this understanding that even though I was from a small place, like there was this bigger thing out there. I wanted to be a performer since I ever saw Lady Gaga when I was like in the 8th grade. I was like, I want to do that. I'm going to start DJing and then I'm going to start performing and then I'm going to start rapping. And it just like all snowballed into one.
A core group of friends, a few Christmas road trips, and seeing inspiring performances from iconic artists have all played a part in the Wreckno Effect. But we're just getting started. Crediting Flume, Missy Elliott, Griz, Doja Cat, and Beyoncé as inspiration, Brandon was influenced by the dynamic performances of rap and pop artists. They also credit another unexpected EDM artist as a huge source of inspiration.
I am still really, really inspired by G. Jones in every era. Sometimes I will go back to this 2015 G. Jones mixtape where it's like all of his like older like trappier beats.
One song from Wreckno that shows clear inspiration from G. Jones is Honey Drip. In this track, you can hear the influence of G. Jones's signature style, particularly through the use of experimental sound design, glitchy textures, and heavy, distorted bass lines.
Bitch, I'm buzzing. What's up, gangsta? Snow McLovin. Yeah, I got that super bad. Ask your daddy, ask your cousin. This beat got them sticky. Clico sipping got me dizzy.
G. Jones is known for his intricate, dynamic arrangements and cutting-edge production. And Wreckno taps into similar vibes with the detailed layering and unconventional drops in the song. The track blends complex rhythms with a futuristic, bass-heavy aesthetic, which mirrors G. Jones's influence in pushing the boundaries of bass music, a theme that dominates Wreckno's career.
Trying to infiltrate my clique just to get the fucking pick. He's my homie, he's my man. Bitch, you just a fucking fan. Claim you know me from the gram while I'm DMing your man. I got that honey drip, and it's dripping.
Even early in their career, Brandon knew that making the music was only the beginning. They understood that it was the performance that would create the full experience they wanted for their fans. Growing up with icons like Lady Gaga helped Brandon craft the spectacle that the Wreckno identity was becoming.
I really just love that part of music. I love the artistry part of everything. And I think all of those things that I just was really taking in and obsessing over always kind of shaped what I wanted to put out at, for sure. The artistry of pop music and making, concept albums and just like really presenting yourself as like an art entity.
By taking cues from these artists, Wreckno blends bass, funk, hip hop, and electronic music into their own unique sound, while advocating for queer representation in the music industry. A month after releasing Honey Drip, Wreckno's career was launched into the stratosphere when they teamed up with, arguably, the most well-known queer artist in the EDM scene, Griz. Wreckno's breakout moment came when they collaborated with Griz on the track Medusa. This song not only topped TikTok's Pride chart, but also racked up millions of streams across platforms.
Hallelujah. Throw it back, classy. Zoom, zoom, don't gas me. Who the fuck are you? Don't ask me. Hot boys, nasty. Throw it back, throw it back. Throw it back, throw it back. Hot boys.
Without a doubt. It was like, I understood that it was the moment for me. He asked me to do that song. He had asked me in person. He was like, what do you want this to be? I remember saying I wanted to be like Lizzo in a way, but also like I just wanted to be empowering in a way that was for queer people. I have this like die-hard punk queer energy in me, and I just really wanted to like bottle how I felt about that and how I felt about the things I've kind of faced, and just like put it out in either with rap or performing or just like really loud, crazy music. And Grant really gave me the opportunity.
The EDM community has Grant to thank for helping to launch the Wreckno Effect, but on a personal note, David and I have Grant to thank for being our gateway into the EDM scene, the scene that we now call home.
Not only was that the stepping stone and the fucking jump off point for me, but it was like genuinely like I freaked out when I heard the first cut of that, because it was like my whole life I was like, I know I have this in me. I know I have this like anthem or something in me that will hit people and make them feel comfortable in some way. But I didn't understand that it was Medusa until it's there.
Following the success of Medusa, Wreckno dropped a Pride Month EP titled Roy G Biv, which became an anthem of queer celebration in EDM. This celebration wasn't only for the queer community, though, but also a celebration of Brandon's full expression of their gender identity. Although the world saw a dynamic, confident, gender-fluid performer, Brandon didn't always feel that way in their own head. The struggle of expressing their gender identity to the world was one that took many years to come to fruition. But that all changed in the Roy G Biv era.
I also was like not where I am with my gender identity yet. I wasn't comfortable within myself. I was very scared of presenting too feminine and turning either straight people away from wanting to enjoy my project, or even in a like deeper romantic sense. I was like scared that some queer men wouldn't be cool enough to get with someone who was feminine. And I was dealing with a lot of that. And I think when you see me in 2019 or 2020 on stage, I can still see that personally.
In addition to working with Griz, Wreckno has collabed with some of the biggest names in the game, including Mersive, Subtronics, and Wakan's own Liquid Stranger. Choosing who you work with can be a very complicated process, but for Brandon, it's pretty easy. It's all about the vibes.
I wrote down a huge list of people who have either been kind to me, showed me respect, and that I genuinely fuck with, and that I'm like, oh, I love their sound. I like think that we could do something cool.
Brandon gave us an exclusive sneak peek into some of the new collabs they have in the works.
Opio, Killsmith, Subdoctin, G-Space, Heritage, Super Future, Smokeland, Easy Baked, SBM, Zen Select, Maddie O'Neill, Rez, Closey. Like, I just like wrote down people who are just have always shown me kindness and love and respect.
In addition to their larger-than-life personality and stage presence, Brandon has another talent that we've only scratched the surface of: rapping. Not only do they make beats, do their own choreography, and put on some of the best performances in the game, their lyricism brings a whole other level to the project. The Wreckno sound combines heavy bass, catchy lyrics, and raps that exude confidence and fun. With tracks like Bassline and Bounce, Wreckno has continued to cement their place in the world of electronic music, making it impossible not to dance to their infectious beats.
I've been coming through with my Birkin, built to the top through a stack, 'cause I know that.
With the release of the EP in June 2024, Brandon is officially in their party girl era.
They know what's up.
But it wasn't always an easy road. Wreckno has opened up about the challenges they faced in navigating their identity, especially as someone who identifies as gender fluid. Early in their career, they were hesitant to fully express themselves, but that changed when they started embracing their gender expression on stage.
First started going to shows though, I was super out, super loud. I've been out since I was like 14. I always say I came out with broken wrists. There was 5 gay people in my town and I was 4 of them. I dealt with like people telling other people I couldn't be in their hotel rooms because I was gay, or like people just like saying really homophobic shit. I was coming from northern Michigan with people who were like maybe not as open-minded as I was as a queer person, and it just that stuff definitely sucked, and it has always stuck with me.
As time went on and the Wreckno Effect grew stronger, Brandon faced less of this hate and found a community more willing to accept all of it.
Because it was like by 2019 when I started actually playing shows, like everybody was just cool with queer people. Like once I was getting into music, like really actually making some moves and solidifying that I was a good performer, a good DJ, I don't think I've ever really felt that used against me. It's that part has just been what's helped me connect with other people who are like me, I think.
The challenges didn't end once Brandon became established in the scene. They've shared in prior interviews that getting comfortable with mixing and mastering is still an area for improvement. They shout out the other artists in the space who support them as they continue to grow in this aspect of production.
That was something I struggled with when I first started, because I was like really good at songwriting and really good at rapping and kind of DJing, and I had everything over here, but I needed a lot of work with my production. I'm very lucky in the people that I have around me that where like I can take like, you know, my raw ideas that maybe aren't the most like fleshed out and like once it's like a solid song, be like, hey, I just need this to be fine tuned. I'm kind of still at that point in my career. I'm always learning more and more every day with production. I'm getting more confident in my mixing now, but I still like with mastering, I have to send that out. Usually Superfuture will help me with like little tweaks here and there for like finals of songs.
Brandon's self-awareness allows him to focus on the aspects of how their music translates to a live performance. Starting with the music, they then carefully plan choreography, costuming, and vocals. In a scene where a visual performance is just as important as the musical one, it takes a lot to stand out. But Wreckno is in a league of their own. As Brandon grew more comfortable in expressing their gender identity, they were able to bring the project to its full potential. An example of this is when Wreckno first performed in a skirt during a show in 2020. He has spoken about how that moment was a turning point in embracing their full identity as a queer artist. Wearing a skirt on stage symbolized a step towards self-expression and breaking gender norms, which has become a central theme in both their music and live performances. Wreckno has since embraced fashion as a way to challenge norms and celebrate their individuality.
I can get dick anytime I want it loud in the back, want it loud in the front.
Wreckno has been tearing it up at some of the biggest music festivals. From Electric Forest to Lollapalooza and Bonnaroo, they've played at the most iconic stages in the EDM world. Fans rave about the positive vibes and LGBTQ+ representation at their shows. During their performances, Wreckno turns the energy up to 11. It's more than just a DJ set. It's an experience, complete with dancers, choreographed routines, and of course, that signature heavy bass and raps that they're known for. They might throw an exclusive remix, like their spin on Kim Petras' Horsey, or tease unreleased music during the live show.
I love the presentation. I love the performance. I hope that when people come to my shows, I hope that they have a good time. I hope that they feel comfortable in their own skin and like they were in a space where they could just have a blast and not be worried about what other people think of them.
One of Wreckno's most recent festival performances was Cascade Equinox Festival in Redmond, Oregon. We'd like to thank Cascade Equinox for making this video possible. If you missed Cascade Equinox at the end of September, make sure you're ready when 2025 tickets go on sale. What makes Wreckno stand out isn't just their talent, it's their impact. By being unapologetically themselves, Wreckno has created a space in EDM where queer fans feel safe, celebrated, and represented. Their songs aren't just about partying, they're about pride, inclusivity, and fun, and they've resonated deeply with LGBTQ+ audiences.
anybody's game. If you just show up, there's room for everybody. There's a lot of different lanes that you can go in. And there's some people who are thriving with heavy dubstep. Some people thriving in just like more Wookiee or bass music. It's really just coming to the table and being your most authentic self in music and your output and just what you want your project to be. I think it's just kind of making sure you stay true to that core audience and people who've really rode with you for a long way. And then you just never know what your next thing that will pop is going to be.
And if you're someone out there who is stuck in your head about how to get your music career off the ground, Brandon has some advice for you.
I've learned to like hear that voice and be like, actually, bitch, do you know what I've done in my life and why I do deserve to be here? Fuck the noise. If you love music, just start trying. You'll get better at it. And that's how it works, is just putting your time in and getting behind your computer and doing it.
As Wreckno continues to grow as an artist, their influence is felt far beyond music. They've become a role model for queer artists looking to break into the industry and have used their platform to advocate for greater diversity in electronic music.
That is where my heart started with music. I knew that I had a unique perspective that wasn't being, especially in electronic music, was not being broadcasted or championed. That's almost like a chip on your shoulder of like, I am fucking special and you're going to pay attention to this and why this is special and unique. I am very happy that if for someone in the scene, or I am that representation for them. There's also so many different facets of people and queer people in music killing it that for some people, I might not be the representation that they're looking for. I guess part of me is just like, never put me on a pedestal, please, because like I'm just a like really random gay person from the Midwest who's like sometimes crazy. So it's always just like a little bit like I'm just normal.
Although Brandon is just a normal Midwesterner, Wreckno is loud, in your face, and impossible to ignore, and we're here for it. Wreckno isn't just a stage persona. The Wreckno Effect is what manifests when you put every ounce of yourself out there for the world to see. A quality that we can all use more of. It's a really special thing to be able to share bits and pieces of yourself with the world through music, because music is a universal language. It can be hard to describe this energy in words, but I asked Brandon to describe their sound and the impact that they hope it has on listeners.
I always say loud, brash, queer, and in your face. And then if we were doing technical terms, I'd be like queer trap rap with some bass stuff going on. And then sometimes house. I hope it brings you joy. Stuff like that is just like from my heart and my life being extended to anybody. I hope that you get a smile or just a little groove out of it like I do.
Wreckno's journey from small town Michigan to the biggest stages in electronic music is a testament to what's possible when you embrace your true self. With their unique sound, vibrant performances, and dedication to inclusivity, Wreckno is changing the EDM world for the better. If you haven't yet, go check out the new track, Dick, and catch them live at a show near you.
Don't let what you think you don't know keep you from not learning how to be great at something.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories from your favorite artists. In fact, here's another one you can check out.